After finishing the first test with 16% moisture content, now we are going to add 2% moisture content, and we are going to do the same test with 18%. So first of all, please weigh around 6 kgs. Now we have 6 kgs. Now we have 1 kilo and 80 grams, and you mix it. You have to mix it so that it becomes homogeneous. After mixing, we are going to do the same as by the first test, where we are going to compact. We are going to use also 5 layers as we did at the beginning. Each layer is going to be compacted with 56 blows with that hammer, because as we said at the beginning, we are going to use the modified effort. We start by the first layer, which has to be at around 1/5 of the mold. He has to compact up to 56 blows. I'm going to put the next layer up to the 5th layer. Now, 5 layers are done. And now, I'm going to take away the collar and trim the soil. After trimming, we are going also to take the mass of the soil and the mold. We have to make sure that the balance is at 0. And then we record this mass and we take the moisture content. We weigh the wet material and can, and we record it and we put it in the oven. After that, we are going to continue with the third test, whereas we are going also to add 18%. After finishing the second test and taking the moisture content, we are going to do the third one, whereas we are going to add also 2% more of moisture content. This time, we're going to use 20%. We're going to add 1.2 kg of water for the third test. Now, we mix. You have to mix it so that it becomes homogeneous. After mixing, we are going to repeat the same process. We are going to compact also 5 layers, and each layer with 56 blows. That is the first layer. For the third test. After compacting the first layer, we're going to continue to compact up to the fifth layer. Now, the fifth layer is compacted. Now, take please the moisture content for this mixture of test 3. We are going to take both, so the mass of the cane has to be considered. And then we are going to clean it. And then we are going to record the mass of the cane and the wet soil. Take the corer away and you trim. After trimming, we are going to take the mass of both mold and the soil, and the mass is recorded. We have to do one more test in the same way, but in this time we are going also to add also 2%, which means we are going to add 22% of the moisture content. After the compaction of the third test, we are going to continue with the fourth one. We are going also to add more moisture content, and we are going to make 22%. So please weigh around 6 kgs. You have to clean the pan so that it does not influence the results. Even if the moisture content you are putting is not going to be considered as the real one, that is just the estimation, and for that reason we are taking the moisture content on every test. Now we have 6 kgs, and now we're going to take the water, 1.32 kgs, which is 22% of that. As usual, you mix it to make sure that everything is clean so that nothing may influence the moisture content, even if, of course, this moisture content is not going to be considered as the final one. As I told you, the final moisture content is the one who is going to be found from the drying oven. So now trim and take moisture content. This is the cane 4. Put to 0, and then we record the mass of the cane and the wet soil. Then you are going to take the mass of the mold and the wet soil. Remember that the oven is at the temperature of between 105 up to 110. So, and we record also this one. It means now we have the raw data. We have already corrected the data for today. As you see on the form, from here we can get just the moist density. But as I told you, we have to wait for the moisture content so that we can calculate the dry density, since we are going to get the curve of moisture content and the dry density. For the next calculations is to know the oversize at the beginning. As you saw, this oversize is nothing else than this, the mass of this oversize, and we divide by the total mass of the sample we had. And from the calculations we did at the beginning, we got 12%. This is very important. The next important thing for the calculation is to know the specific gravity of the oversize, because this one is going to be used for the correction of the density. The specific gravity determination is a test apart. When it is not done, starting from the type of the soil or the aggregate, it may be estimated. For this one, we can take the standard one of 2.65. We are going to use the specific gravity of oversize, GM, in our calculation of 2.65. For this low plastic clay silt, we are going to take 2.64. From the type of aggregate or the type of the soil, you can estimate it because its influence is not also so high. Now, we are going to wait for 24 hours so that we get the moisture content. After getting the moisture content, we are going to evaluate our data.